It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Acee, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just tryna save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week. It will lead you to the message that you seek.
It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Real Word Season 6, Episode 13. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Shout out to everybody that's helped us to get this far so far. Shout out to everybody that has been supporting us. Shout out to everybody that watches on the Brick Network. We're on the Brick TV every Tuesday and Thursday. We're on 12 noon, 1 a.m. and 4 p.m. Also, you catch the reruns on Fridays and Saturdays. We live on Facebook every Monday on Facebook. That's www.facebook.com/therealword7, the number 7 like Mike Vick. Also catch us on Instagram at The Real Word Ministries Inc. And you can also catch us on podcasts at Apple, Spotify, Pandora, and Soundcloud at The Real Word Podcast. The Real Word Podcast. You can also check out our website at www.therealwordministriesinc.org. That's therealwordministriesinc.org. I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself.
You already know it's the morning, no leaf. Ace Irving, yeah, in this building. Have me on Instagram. Ace Irving 11, no 11, no bueno.
And we also got a special guest in the house today. Introduce yourself, brother.
What's going on, y'all? My name is Alan. Been on the show a few times, but I'm a good friend of Rickard here. You can catch me on Instagram, THE_A1life, LYFE.
All right. So let's talk about that, because that's what you want to talk about, fitness.
Fitness, okay.
So let's dive into the whole thing about fitness, because what got you into fitness? Like, let's share that story.
Oh, in terms of like what got me into fitness, I was actually talking to you about this the other day, but basically when I played football in high school, I tore my ACL my junior year. I used to love playing football, and then at that point in time, I was like wondering, like, oh, when I tore my ACL, I was like, how could the sport that I love kind of like turn its back on me, XYZ? But like I more so looked at it as an opportunity, as something I could overcome. So I kind of like endured like the physical therapy and all the things that had went wrong, and actually played my senior year. And then even when I got the injury, the doctors had told me like I didn't really have too much like cartilage left in my knee in a sense, and then I never really took into heart what the doctors was telling me. I kind of wanted to just create my own future in a sense, and I just kind of worked out all of the time, and it just became a lifestyle to me, and became something like mental, more so like a test to myself. So I try to just preach that on to other people, so whenever they have like an issue, you know, there's ways to persevere, because that's always going to make you stronger. So fitness for me is more of a mental game than it is physical, and just like you said, you always got to sharpen mental, spiritual, and your mental. So it's a huge factor for me.
So, as a black man, right, and you know, a lot of black men in particular, we don't like going to see doctors.
Yeah.
We don't like getting checkups. You know, we are plagued with diabetes, high blood pressure, and stuff like that. You know, and us being Haitian, we eat heavy. We eat the heavy starch, the rice, the beans, and the chicken, the beef, the lamb. You know, some of us eat pork, the griot.
Yeah.
And Haitians like fried food, fritai, we call it. So, sometimes we don't take care of ourselves, and we see like a lot of our pops got big bellies, and they just be looking at our shit. You don't see them really work out or nothing.
Couch. The only thing they left is the remote.
So, like, from a fitness point of view, like, how can we do better than our pops' generation when it comes to fitness?
I think just finding ways to get active. I think too many times people tie fitness into just going to the gym. It could be walking, it could be dance, it could be swimming, it could be anything that drives your passion. But as long as your body is moving, that's what's really going to prevent yourself from aging. Like, I like to tell people that age is not really a number, but it's more so like a state of energy. So if you're constantly moving, you can constantly stay young. So the more you just sit around and not doing nothing, then yeah, of course, you're going to age and get that pot belly.
What about you? What you think?
I mean, he's right. Fitness is like more mental, but you know, me, I used to work out too, but I became a little lazy.
Yeah.
You know, so I gotta work on that. So you brought up a great point. I gotta work on that mental when it comes to the physical part, cause I ain't really been working on the physical. I've been working more of like becoming more smarter than I realize that I am. So I've been working at so much, I got distracted from the fitness part. But I think I'm still fit for certain activities.
Yeah, like,
you know, like when it comes down, I think I still got it.
People tie fit to appearance too often, man. It's just about being active. It's not really about how you look in a sense. It's just really just like a state of health, you know?
So, a lot of times we gotta teach the generation that's coming after us to do better, right? And like one of the things that I see you and know involved in is like coaching and training the children. Like, but you remember us growing up, we used to play sports till the sun came up to the sun went down. Like all day we used to play basketball in the backyard. When it got cold, we played football in the park. And you know, I don't feel like kids nowadays are active like that outside. Like they're not outside.
They're active outside, but not in that type of sense. They're active more like parties, things like that.
The outside.
Yeah, they want to have fun, things like that. But they don't want to, live. They don't want to sweat. None of that. And plus, this is a social media time. Due to COVID-19, everything is virtual now.
So they say.
Everything is online now. It's like that's how we connect. That is like social distance. So I mean, they're basically, in that sense, when you really think about it, it's like they're trying to make people more fat or obese as well. That's another agenda.
Especially from the food, bro. Like
because a lot of people, especially the people on unemployment, you sit in the crib, you get that employment check, like, I'm about to go get some food.
That Uber Eats is popping off.
Then you come back to the crib, you sit down, you mad tired, like, I'm about to go to rest.
Jose Cuervo.
Yeah. What was it? 1942 or something. Stimmy checks,
Oh, summer. People's having a good time.
Yeah, got some mingos, all that.
Yeah. But I just feel like kids nowadays are not outside the way we was outside. Even like before the pandemic, like they just played the inside, video games or caught up in other stuff, doing foolishness like online thugging.
I mean, like technology is definitely like at its highest right now compared to when we was kids. So we didn't really we weren't so glued to our phones. You feel me? Like we were able to like go out and play sports and do our stuff.
We didn't even get iPhones. Like now we see 7-year-old with iPhones. We looking like I was
in elementary school with iPhones, FaceTiming.
Yeah, you looking at yourself like, bro, I didn't have a phone. I was asking my mom, can I get a phone?
Yeah. Now even babies be using tablets and stuff like that.
Like, and you'd be surprised when you just leave them alone and they figured certain things out.
Like they know to press the button to talk for the video to come on.
I know.
Like my daughter be doing that. She be like, play Kids Bop. Play Kids Bop.
They're going to be the most technical advanced these kids right now. Because that's all they really know. But at the same time, it's like a double-edged sword because they're not going to know what life was without technology. So it's like, that's another beautiful thing that they probably not going to be able to experience. Because I know we take it for, it's cool, it's accustomed to it, but we know how to balance it because that's not all we know. But these kids that's it. Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing
I'm more of an in-person type.
Exactly.
I can't do the sit down on a computer for multiple hours. Just
it's never been my thing.
Trying to get people's attention that I don't know or I'm never going to see or care about. It's like, why am I wasting my time for?
One joke that I saw online, they said that the reason why a lot of scammers come out of Canarsie is because in Canarsie they had the luxury to have computers and a steady internet connection to learn how to scam.
I'm not gonna lie, when we was in 211, they did give us some free computers though. Remember that shit? Like, we got them free computers at 211 though.
And that's where the story started.
Yo, bro, don't associate me. Not here.
Fact. So do you think like health and physical fitness have a direct connection to wealth?
Yes.
Why?
The reason why is because if you have no health, how you gonna be able to get wealth? Because if you're not healthy, you're gonna be sitting in the hospital bed. How are you making money?
But they got a lot of rich like big people and shit though.
Yeah, but those people, remember, like they're rich, but that's probably passed down generational wealth. Now majority of us ain't gonna have those opportunities where we just born into richness.
Of course.
So if you don't got the wealth, you ain't gonna be able to get the bread. So we gotta take care of your health in order to take care of the bread. So it's like a step-by-step basis. You can't rush the process. Basically, you gotta make sure yours good.
There's a Chinese proverb that goes that when a man is young, he spends all his life and his health chasing riches. Then when he gets old, he spends all his riches trying to chase more life and health.
I think that is true because I be seeing a lot of old people that they like to work out a lot. Like, you know, when you come outside, like when I used to go to school, and still now you around my neighborhood, I would see those old people like just jogging early in the morning, especially like in Lincoln Terrace parks and stuff. And you could say any neighborhood parks that got a big park, they just gonna go do runs, and COVID not even stopping them.
Especially the Asian community, like
you was never stopping their community.
Yeah,
their mindset is already like they're already accustomed to it. It's like I don't want to say, but it's like it's programmed into their mind.
Like this is just what we do.
Yeah.
But they eat pretty healthy for the most part anyway, too, though.
Of course.
Yeah.
But that goes back to what I was saying again. Like I think the amount of money you have is tied into the food that you eat, because if you have more money, you live in a better neighborhood that got better
that's 100%.
foods. And some people live in something that's called a food desert, a place where you can't get healthy or organic food.
Yeah.
Think of Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. Those are like downtown area where more affluent people live. And then when you go to the hood, there's liquor store, Kennedy Fried Chicken, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Wang Hong, Sung Chang, all the Chinese stores.
They give you
and then Bumagla restaurant, Haitian restaurant, mad sakpases and clothes. Just go down Avenue L in Canarsie or down Flatbush Avenue.
Yeah, that's true though.
Like all you're gonna see is jerk chicken, Chinese.
They got some African spots in there now, though.
OT. Yeah, so it's like
that's facts though.
liquor store, laundromat, liquor store, church.
That's a fact. That's how it's set.
That's that whole Avenue L, an abandoned movie theater.
That's every strip in the hood.
Word, like,
Church, Linden, Flatbush, like East New York. Just name a street. Pickens Avenue, like Pennsylvania Ave.
Well, it's pretty common in all we live in an urban neighborhood for sure. So you're gonna find a corner store and a liquor store before you find a Whole Foods out here any day.
That's a fact.
But I mean, to say that too, like there is some reform happening in Canarsie though, because they got a couple juice shops opening up, some vegan shops. I think like the whole health conscious thing is getting just higher in general. So them places are starting to open up in our neighborhood. So hopefully they're just using
But it's expensive.
Honestly, that's the thing. Like
that's why.
But that says a lot though. If you want to take care of yourself, you need more money to take care of yourself. What does that say for what they're trying to push? You know what I'm saying? For the people who can't afford it.
And they saying that these broke dudes are suffering out here.
A lot of your suffering will come from your diet though. Unfortunately.
So if you let's just say you're growing up in public housing, and then there's Chinese food stores, there's liquor stores, and there's Kentucky Fried Chicken all around you. What can you do to stay healthy?
I mean, to this day, I still eat Chinese food. I'm not gonna hold you. As much of a fitness dude I am, I'm not trying to get swallowed up by terms of life is about a balance. You find a balance. You're gonna eat something bad, just like make sure you have you know you're gonna eat out for dinner, have like a shake in the morning, or eat something light, and then balance it out. Like life is a balance. You're supposed to enjoy those little things too, even though you know it's not bad for you. How many things do you enjoy that you know is not bad for you? That's bad for you too, but you just don't do it in excess. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm gonna throw down some lo mein probably tomorrow. You know, nah, I'm joking. Like on a cheat day, but for the most part, I do eat healthy, so I try to just do like 6 days and then cheat on the weekend.
Like every other man.
You talking about food here.
What are you talking about?
But yeah, man, like I feel like with us, like because we was involved in sports and we was able to work out, like we started lifting weights at like a young age, and the people around us would work out too. It helped us to stay fit. Yeah. And like this is bad, but it's good at the same time. Like the people that was chubby around us, like we used to bully them, which caused them to get into shape.
I mean, I was one of them. Hands up, I was definitely one of the chubby ones, but you know that definitely shaped up. Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's the point. Sometimes we get a little too sensitive and soft here. Where I feel like a lot of that they talk about against bullying. I get that, but that kind of shapes you up for the real world. Because what is the real world? For real, like if you keep coddling these kids as a baby and then they come up until 18 and they get slapped with the real world, they're not gonna know how to handle it. So you better experience it from as young as you can. It just conditions you, you know.
And now majority of us are fit. Like
that's true.
Are fit. Like, so I think it does have to do a lot with the people around you, and like you know, and us as black people, like there's things that we do that like kind of harms us. And it's like what you said, everything comes in balance. Like we gotta find that balance. Like, so what do you guys think is a way that we can find balance as like black men?
And just in general with like everything?
In life. Like
one, I think definitely like you said, the company you keep is important. Know what relationships are nurturing versus what's like, you know, taking away from what you can accomplish or just kinda like keeping you stagnant. I think that's huge. I think honestly being honest with yourself is huge. You got to know when you're overindulging in something and be like, okay, let me pull back. You know what I'm saying? So then you could just find that balance within yourself. But in terms of finding balance, you got to understand what's causing the excess use of something. You know what I'm saying? So when you say a balance, what do you mean entirely?
Like everything in life comes with a balance, right? Like one of the shows I've been watching is The Sopranos, right? And Tony, like he tries to balance like his mobster family and his home family.
Okay.
And his wife, she's like the cleaner version of him. As in like he does all the dirt so she could make everything look pretty. So like she balances it out. So she went to therapy and the therapist was like, get out of there. He's a killer. He's a murderer. He sleeps with hookers every week. Like you're just there for the money and it's blood money. And then she's like, you're a therapist. You're not supposed to say that. He said, in therapy nowadays, we blame it on people's childhood, so we make up excuses. But you're no longer a child. You're an adult.
That's true.
And then he's like, I'm not even going to charge you. I don't want that blood money. He said, you're an accomplice. She's like, I'm an accomplice, blah, blah. And then she's like, no, I don't do anything with him when he goes out and do those things. She's like, I just make sure that, like, his clothes are clean, his house is clean, and he has food on a dinner plate. She was like, oh, so you're not an accomplice, you are an enabler.
Enabling him to do all those things.
And then he was like, just know that you could never say that nobody never warned you. She was like, and then she was like, okay, I understand. But then she left. When she went home, she just asked her husband for $50,000.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I don't know if I should give you $50,000 because she wanted $50,000 to pay Columbia to make sure that the girl stays in Columbia and graduates. So the guy came up to her and was like, yo, I heard that you donated $50,000 to another school. So what's up? Don't you want to make sure that your daughter do good? And the guy was like, I'm the mobster. They not the mobster. I'm giving them $5,000 and that's it. But then after she went to therapy and she was sad, she asked him for $50,000 instead of $5,000. He had $5,000 in his pocket. He just took it out of his pocket and threw it at her. He was like, whatever. And then she was like, do this for me. I'm sad. I need $50,000. He was like, okay, let's go out to go eat. And it's like, that's the balance. Like, he's this big, crazy mobster killer guy, and she's like this sweet Catholic woman that's always praying and you gotta do good, this and that. But, like, she knows who her husband is, and she just balances it out, act like everything is normal.
I mean, you know what they say, like, usually when you want to marry your opposite.
They say that because, what you gonna say?
Because, I mean, like, you know one thing, the reason why I know it's true, why you're never supposed to marry this person similar to you, because it's like, we both got the same tendency, right? Let's say, like, alright, when we argue, we both hot head and we start talking reckless to each other. That's not good.
Yeah.
One gotta be the more calm one, trying to smooth the situation out, and the other one, fine, they could be reckless, but at least there's a balance between, because if there's not a balance between, it won't work out. So in that aspect, yeah, it's very true.
Yeah, I agree too. Cause I feel like any like partnership or relationship or anything in general, like if you're building a team, you should be aware like what your weaknesses are. Because what it is like in your strengths, because the team itself is going to compensate for each other's weaknesses and strengths too. So that's where y'all build each other up. So that's huge, and then that ties for relationships, of course.
That goes back to a conversation you and I had, and we was talking about people having gifts and talents, and you was asking, you asked me, do I use all my gifts and talents for good? I said no. Sometimes I do it for evil. Sometimes I have fun. Yeah. And then you was like most people don't expect people to be honest about it, but the best example is Thor and Loki. You see how Thor is like all serious and macho, but Loki's just like whatever, like he's just slippery, he does whatever, he moves out the way, but then he had fun. But if he wanted to be serious, he could probably go head to head with Thor at the same time.
Yeah, for sure.
But his personality is like a comical relief. Like I feel like that's where the balance comes. Like, you know, it's like if I was serious all the time, like it'll be different. But sometimes, like I could be like real sarcastic.
Yeah.
You know, like, and sometimes it's like I feel like in life, like sometimes when we're around certain group of people, like to be honest with ourselves, we dumb ourselves down sometimes just to fit in.
Yeah, that's
true.
Because sometimes when you feel like you're superior to someone else, you might give off the impression that like they might feel like inferior to you, and then that makes you feel alienated from the group. So sometimes people dumb themselves down, but sometimes people come in and they're smarter than everybody else, and they just use their wit and their smarts to just manipulate everyone in the circle. Like, you ever seen those scenarios where someone is just standing back and they're watching everyone fight and they just laughing? They're the ones, like, they the antagonist, like the troublemaker, but they act like they didn't do nothing. Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. I've seen a few school times and all that.
Yeah. It's like, that's why, like, life is all about balance. And that's why, like, a lot of things that people talking about, you know, is meditation. A lot of people talking about medicinal for meditation. Some people drink teas, but a lot of people's more talking about meditation, prayer, and getting spiritual. Like recently, like a few people was talking about meditation now, like trying to find that awakening. And I think last year helped a lot of people in the sense that it forced you to slow down and to look around at everything around you and to look at yourself, because all the things that you once thought had value lost so much value in such a small amount of time.
It's like they flip this switch in your head to basically have a new mindset. And if you still with the old mindset, you won't be successful in this new world.
Yeah, I guess it brings attention to what like really matters in a sense, because like as long as you got like a roof over your head, you got food on your plate, then you really are straight. Because before that, like before COVID, everybody was stressing things that ain't really matter too much, you know what I'm saying? But like you also get time to be in the house, be with your family, things like that, kind of like appreciate the little thing. I personally like quarantine because I got away from my job, and that's when I realized like, yo, the job ain't it, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of does open your eyes a lot.
One of the things, one of the things that I noticed the most about, you know, this this awakening. A lot of people say that, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement tied into it, Trump being president tied into it, you know, the corona tied into it, all the hostilities in America tied into it. But some people say that now that Joe Biden is in office, like, they're about to just rock everybody back to sleep.
I think
They do say that, yeah.
Back to the point of why I think they about to rock them to sleep, because I think this is about to be Obama 2.0.
Yeah, because I heard they're putting their pieces into play in order for them to push their agenda.
I feel like they've been pushing the agenda from the rip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been pro anything in a sense, but like, it felt so limited. I feel like even though we live in like a freedom of speech place, I feel like during Corona, how you had the most limited freedom of speech that you ever have. Yeah.
They force you to wear masks places.
Yeah, all that stuff.
And sometimes you just like, you gotta wear it because like, I gotta feed my family, so you go in the store with the mask too.
And plus, our voices got privatized because we're using Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and those are privately owned. So we trying to yell to a bunch of people, but somebody else own it, and we're like, you know what? I don't like you talking crazy on YouTube.
Yeah, shadow ban.
Imagine like, Facebook, Twitter got more plugged in the president. They shut him down. Was like, you talking too much. We're gonna shut you down. Is he like, once Facebook shuts somebody down, everybody else shuts down. Everybody shuts you down.
Well, they own all of them, so.
Facebook's the #1 market. They on Instagram, Snapchat,
WhatsApp.
That's crazy. Everything got a Facebook logo on it, yo. Everything.
Billionaires, man. So that's, and now
he's Jewish though.
Now with the vaccine, the other guy, Jeff Bezos, or we should say Jeff Bozo, he's saying that he's gonna help distribute the vaccine because they're trying to vaccinate 100 million people in 100 days or something like that. They're saying, and they said that Amazon's gonna do it first because they got like 88 million employees or some crazy number like that.
Yeah,
and they're gonna vaccinate all of their employees first, then use Amazon workers to vaccinate people.
You know what's crazy? The way you just brought it up, I always was thinking like Amazon the whole time during quarantine, all that. You know, like how all these businesses, it was like everybody was deep, like they was losing. But it's like Amazon was like
they couldn't lose.
They couldn't lose. It was like COVID. They said it don't matter what virus you bring, we gonna win.
Amazon and McDonald's.
Yeah,
you couldn't shut them down.
Well, how McDonald's is still making an account? Yeah,
McDonald's
for real.
Essential business.
You gotta think like that. Like Amazon kind of drive the U.S. economy in a sense.
And you know what's crazy? Amazon got a lot of people you go and meet. Really, they did work for Amazon. Like that's a quick come up.
Hell yeah!
You just sign up. You don't need no resume, nothing. They hire you. You go to the shit.
You just go to that.
You go to the interview. You already know you're gonna be hired.
Yeah, that's a fact. And
then now, you know, since 2021, now it's like they got this new thing where for the people for the drugs, they can't really. They basically cannot use like weed for like you not being hired, so that increases the amount of people that's going to get hired.
Bro, a couple times Amazon guys brought packages, they was tired.
Yeah, I'm sure. You can smell it on them. Damn, the box smell funny. I'm like,
and they making money too, though. Like, I'm not going to hold you.
Yeah.
Like,
he made a lot of money. He's the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
I heard he don't pay taxes or something like
he
that.
don't,
Yeah,
because he cut the deal with the government.
You know how much he's getting to not get taxed? Like that guy.
He said, I'm giving them employment.
Yeah, he gives so much people jobs that he's
saving the government from unemployment. Wow.
He said, look, man.
I heard the conditions for working for Amazon is ruthless,
like
slave ship type. That's what I heard. I never worked for them, but that's what I heard they be working hard.
That's not everyone, but
some of them.
Yeah, some. But they pay them good, so that's why they.
That's good. Oh yeah,
and they give them the flexibility too. So you know, people like the fact that they got a flexibility because you know, like how when you work catering jobs, you work it, but it's flexible, but you know you gotta have.
Yeah, they're gonna need you on the most important nights.
Yeah, and you know that you gotta have other job that makes more bread because you like, yo, it's catering because you know that's an on and off business.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you really messing with the managers and stuff, you know, you ain't about to get hours. You feel me? So in that case,
but basically now we know why Amazon was getting the go.
Okay.
McDonald's was getting the go because they killing people. Everybody know that.
Yeah.
But Amazon was getting the go because they did the deal because they're gonna help distribute the vaccines later.
They gotta make all the employees take the vaccine in order to stay.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think a lot of people gonna resign because of that though? I know there's a lot of anti-vaccine.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of them gonna resign. I'll give you one reason why.
They have no choice.
They gonna rise their wages up, so they gonna like, what? I'm getting paid this, bro.
You think? Oh yeah, that would be smart. Yeah, that's unfortunate though.
They already know. A lot of people go, like, I'm not taking the vaccine. So that's why they gonna raise your bread first, their wage first. Then they gonna hit you with the take the vaccine. You feel me?
That's crazy.
Because they gonna give you, they gonna put the cheese first, so then you could get caught.
And then the next thing is Elon Musk with Tesla. He's making a lot of money because most of the rich people are trying to find a way to leave Earth. That's why SpaceX is making so much bread.
Oh.
It sounds crazy, but they just spent $300 billion on the Space Force. Remember when Trump was president, they started a military for the space, talking about something is coming from space. They gotta protect themselves and stuff like that. It sounds crazy, but it's true, bro.
For real. I feel like there's some deeper stuff going on that people are like that we are aware of. Son. Like, why are they doing that?
Like,
Trump was trying to release all of the information, but they stopped them because they said that there's a over 200-page classified evidence on UFO that's gonna be released, but they saying that they can only release a few at a time. They can't release all of it at one time.
That's deep.
So Trump was the one that signed to release them, but he's the one that made the Space Force, and now SpaceX, that's a privately owned company. Like, how you give a private guy authorization to make rockets to shoot into space, bro? Think about it that way. No one thinks about that.
Yo, if aliens exist, it makes you question everything on this earth.
But look at this. If I'm so rich, I got my own spaceship. Because I own it. He owns it. So I'm telling the other rich people, yo, I got a spaceship, bro. If it goes real crazy, give me some bread. And everybody bought shares in it, right? Everybody bought shares. And for a day, he was the richest man in the world. And then the next day, the other guy came rich again. But that's basically what it is. He's building spaceships. That's what he's doing. Building spaceships and selling space. Like, yo, bro, you want to ride a spaceship, bro? $10 million, bro. If not, then, bro.
That's crazy.
Who knows what's going to happen next, bro?
See, I ain't warn you,
I just spoke to LeBron. He bought seats for his whole family, bro. So LeBron already up.
Yo, was it a movie, though? What movie was that?
I don't even know.
But it sound mad real.
It sound mad real. I've seen that story before.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised.
We'll find out soon enough, right?
Some people got
we found out already, bro. They privatizing space. The Amazon guy is building his own space thing now. Because that's what that's what the billionaires are doing now. They building spaceships now.
You gotta have money to be doing that.
Because look, scammers got Rolls Royces now. You don't think billionaires got rockets?
Ain't Elon got a jetpack? The neighborhood Iron Man, son.
Yeah. It's you got a Rolls Royce, I got a rocket.
They get a Rolls Royce.
They was remember they was on it when the plane cruise, they was saying they seen a dude flying on a jetpack. You didn't see that? And the FBI was investigating Elon. And then that shit went quiet though. He probably
It's when he was first dropped off in that little Jeep, the Jeep that was shaped mad funny. He was like, yo, what is that?
That shit probably do some next thing.
He has a video where he driving in LA and then he has a secret tunnel that opens up and then he drives underground. And he drives the car into an elevator and then it brings him up into his secret base, just like Batman. I'm like, yo,
serious?
What is this? Yeah. I'm gonna show you after this.
You gotta pull that up. I'm
gonna show you after this.
Wicked.
Let's start watching Batman all over again.
Yeah, it's like
This man probably doing some of the Batman things.
yeah, because
Right, a whole superhero on another planet.
I don't think he'd be driving like Rolls Royces and stuff like that. He could if he want, but
When I see that armored car, I'm like, what is that?
Those are taxis to him.
just like Kanye got those tanks now, like those tanks that he gave to like those people. He gave Chris Brown one, and he gave 2 Chainz one. Those little,
I can see it. I gotta see it.
These little tank things with the big wheels. And it was like good looks. It was zombie apocalypse come.
Yo, they all foreseen that. Like,
They seeing something.
yeah.
This is a new
My boy was saying like, yo, we gonna see the end. And I'm like, yeah. Like he feel like he said he feel like our generation is gonna see the end of it on that time. I was like,
I think it's the.
I don't think so, but I'm sure every generation say that. My fault. I'm sure every generation be saying that though.
Nah, because the way I look at it, bro, like last year, they made it seem like everybody was gonna die, and some people
They
felt
said that
that
a few
way.
times though, bro. They said that Y2K.
Now I'm talking about when the corona first started, when people was in their house scared, like.
Yeah, I was scared for like the first 2 weeks, and after that, I was like, nah, this ain't it, bro. I had to go outside.
It was a time, bro, when the ambulances was just running
I
all
heard that,
night,
yeah.
non-stop. I'm like, yo, this gotta be fake, bro. There's no way that this.
But it
could
also
really
had
be
people
real.
in a frenzy. Like, you would have had a little sneeze one time. Like, oh my God, do I got to
Yeah,
go? You know what I'm saying?
everybody was-
Everybody in a panic. You can't do anything. So
Yeah.
people probably started calling the cops. Ambulances like in a frenzy. Like,
Yeah, it was a time, bro. One time I timed it. I sat by the window. I looked at my watch for 15 minutes straight. Ambulance.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
ambulance. And I was like, yo, am I the only one? I went on Facebook. Everybody was like, yo, like, we hear it too. I'm
yeah.
like, yo.
Well, our neighborhood had one of the highest things. Remember, like counts in Brooklyn, that Mill Basin.
Wow. And then it was the Jewish neighborhoods after that. Like, recently you started blaming the Jews. And the Jews wasn't jocking it. They was like, we not wearing no masks.
So what's the story with Atlanta? Like, what's going on in Atlanta? Like, what's their numbers like? Because ain't nobody.
It look like anything goes.
That's what I'm saying. There's nobody getting in Atlanta, and then like there's no.
That's like Negro metropolis right
They
now.
probably got the strongest immune system for COVID.
Everybody flying out to
Yeah.
Atlanta just to party and live regular.
That's what normal say. You gotta go to Atlanta.
Even Bow Wow said, he said, damn, I get it, because he was at the club in Atlanta, Georgia, and he wasn't having no mask on. He got called out. After he got called out, they kicked him out the party. He said, yo, where's your mask? No mask. They be like, what you mean?
Yeah,
this stuff had no mask on.
Yeah, but you know power.
Yeah. I mean, it's because he ain't had no status. I mean, it's Drake. I mean, how you gonna say Drake ain't had no mask on? They be like, well, it's Drake.
Yeah, that's snitching though.
Yeah,
That's
that's what he
snitching
did.
word.
Like we said, we was talking about stitches. Now these rappers be stitching.
Yeah, but right now rap is like entertainment. It's
Yeah,
like,
you supposed to separate it from reality and just enjoy it. Yeah.
It's just marketing. All of it is fun. Like they're literally just walking billboards.
Hell yeah, because Dior went crazy
Yeah,
this year. Ain't nobody was touching that a couple years ago.
yeah.
Like,
Nobody
Dior.
was touching that.
That was in Century 21. I could swear.
That was in Telco. Cheap
cheap
Dior perfume. Like that came in a little gift box that the last minute you go to
It
the
was
counter.
a Telco.
Now the Dior wasn't
Look
never
where it
really.
made it though.
Yeah. It used to come in those little gift boxes, like around the holidays they have the little gift boxes in Telco. Yeah, that's where Dior used to be at.
I feel like once rap culture touches something, it just blows it up. But then we don't see no bread from it though.
But we don't own none of
We don't
it.
get no money from it. They don't push their own high-end brand or nothing like that.
Because that's the part of the game.
That's what Master P was talking about the other day. He was saying that like black people just helped Clubhouse hit $1 billion valuation.
I'm sure.
He was like, yo, like 60% of people in Clubhouse are black people just talking it. It's like a 10-way phone call.
I know
like,
what it is.
Just
Like a
be a
conference
mixie.
call.
Yeah, just be a
Well,
mixie.
some of them are productive. I've heard, like, you know, they have somewhere you could really like learn some stuff. But at the same time, even when it's being productive, it's still to grow a business. Though you know the angle of advertisement, like yo. But it's like, I mean, you give free game to get game, I guess.
But he was saying basically black people help build it to $1 billion, but we don't own it.
I'm sure that's like everything though. We're like the number one consumer. We like, I'm sure.
I mean, we best said that it comes when it comes to music, all different type of genres.
He just paid to help build the first black-owned supercar, Master P. Like he's
a
really
supercar. What's that?
yeah, supercar like for Ferrari, Lamborghini,
Oh, word?
like one of
Okay.
those. Yeah, like he really on it. Like he's the one that like started the rap chips and those soups. Like
Oh, he's the one who started. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's what's
Nah,
up.
he making money, man.
Yeah, you don't see like he don't rap, but he look even more richer.
Yeah, that's true. Though. You can be behind the scenes. You don't need no like limelight to make money, really.
Even Lil Romeo, if you look at Lil
Yeah,
Romeo,
Romeo
like,
make money too, right?
he got way more bread than Lil Bow Wow. And at one time, it seemed like that was at the same stage.
Yeah.
No more.
But they never really was, because Master P been rich.
That's what I'm saying. But Master P was a smart rich dude. You know what I'm saying? So he gonna still them factors into Lil Romeo. I don't know what Bow Wow's situation was.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows.
He ain't got
Bow
the
Wow,
father.
yeah.
Like, he ain't got the father that makes sense.
Yeah. And Angela almost messed up Lil Romeo's life, but he ducked that one and she went to Bow Wow because he was like, yo, you gotta pick me or Lil Bow Wow. You gotta pick up
Oh,
your
word?
brother.
That's what it was?
Yeah, because they used to be on
Bow
that
Wow
hip
probably
hop
never
show.
recovered that. He didn't seem like he ever recovered after Angela.
Yeah, but Lil Romeo was like, I'm good, Angela. I'm good. Let's just be friends. I'm good. And then he just swerved on her like,
Bow Wow felt off crazy.
yeah. He kept doing antics. Like
That's what I'm
silly
saying. And then he became
antics.
like a social media like punching bag in a sense. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I knew he fell off when he started doing 106 hip hop. Even though 106 hip hop was lit, but that was just lit for like us type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But like that type of world, they looking at you like, oh, you that kid in high school?
But Terrence J used to do 160 Park and he blew up bigger than Bow Wow.
Nah,
now.
but the thing is, I feel like it's more so that it seems wrong. It seems bad from the outside, and when you were on top, and you got to start doing like those kind of things. Like,
Yeah.
I think like the standpoint is the reality TV though, unless you get a resurgence.
You gotta be doing a show. But
Yeah.
Soulja Boy king of comebacks though.
So, but he dabbled in other stuff. He's not really worried about making music at this point. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
not
saying?
anymore.
He produces.
He
He got
made a
video games.
He making bread on the low for real.
He's always been rich though.
Yeah, of course.
Soulja Boy.
Ain't he pioneered a YouTube game for all these rappers? Like,
Yeah.
I made y'all.
That's what he said. Drake, he stole my flow. I mean, he did stole his flow. It's true.
flow, bar for bar.
Because I mean, back in our days,
Soulja Boy was
Soulja
popular.
Boy was the
Nah, Soulja Boy was dope, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
When
That
you, with
dance-
the, when you with the girl, you put the song "Kiss Me
To the
Through
phone.
I think he probably started that whole TikTok Vine stuff that's going on right now. If it wasn't for Soulja Boy, they would not be having like, cause right now it's
Soundcloud
too
too.
much dance moves,
Yeah.
bro. Like, I can't do that.
Soulja
It's
Boy
too
A-Rap.
Yeah, word.
Then he became a gangster. Him and Chris
That
Brown.
switch was crazy. Chris Brown's switch was like that. Just went under the radar. People was like, "All right, we gonna accept this one." Like, you know what I'm saying? But
Soulja Boy didn't get the pass though.
Soulja Boy, but you know what it was that video when he was like, "Yo," so he came in the back door like.
I think it was the part when he went to his hood and then they chased him or something.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then he was with the blood. He was like, I'm a blood.
So get over here. He said, "Hey."
Bro, I could have video he got chased. His respect card got taken away. They took his card away.
Wow, I gotta watch that again. I forgot all about that.
That's why he can't act gangster, man. I mean, like, I seen a video when Casanova pulled up with him. He looked shook.
Yo.
Oh, Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's not fair.
Yeah, that's a whole.
Cass was like, yo, it's a fever. He said, yo, he was copping bleed.
That's not
Crazy.
fair, though. That's not a fair one.
Yeah.
It's the real word. It's the real